Today I'm going to be ranking every single AFL Guernsey that has been worn in 2024, and ironically enough, we have 100. We won't be including pre-season, but just all the ones that have been worn officially during the premiership season. I've gone godly, amazing, great, good, decent, meh, boring and bland, and then ugly. So obviously, like we have done in previous videos with Guernseys and rankings, it's going to be based on what I think the Guernseys look like, aesthetically pleasing and all that. So that's basically it. It's nothing behind any of the history of the meaning. I never really judge them based on that. Let's just start off in order with what we've got. So we've got the Adelaide Crows home Guernsey, and I'm going to be putting it in the good tier. I actually think it's quite nice. I like the colours, the stripes. They have good colours to work with. Hawthorn, I'll say it's meh. I'll say it's a little bit different because gold and brown are a little bit unique in a way, the colours. I know they're not great colours used in Guernseys. Melbourne, I guess it's decent. A lot of the home Guernseys I don't think I'm going to rank quite highly. North Melbourne, meh. Port Adelaide, I'm going to say decent. I'll probably say a little bit better than... Actually, no, I like Melbourne's a little bit more. Richmond's decent. St Kilda's probably meh. Like, I like it, but the fact that the matter is it's just a tricolour. Sydney's, now, if we're going to be talking about home Guernseys, I'm going to put this one in great. I think it's probably a top 5 for sure, and I've never ranked Guernseys in a video. West Coast, I probably will put it amazing. I genuinely probably will put it on the weighting. Like, I like the wings. I've got the actual club logo. Uniquely West Coast, this is what it is. The Western Bulldogs, I'm going to put it in good. I like the use of the blue. I like the colours, the red and white stripes. I think it's a good Guernsey. We start here with the first clash, or we might go through a couple of home ones. We'll get Brisbane. Another one that I think is also in... I'll put it in the great. I don't quite think it's as good as West Coast, because I like West Coast colouring a little bit more. Carlton's probably boring and bland. It's just blue and a monogram. Let's be honest with you. I don't want to disrespect Carlton supporters, but that's basically what it is. Let's move on to some other Guernseys. We've got the Adelaide Clash. I'm going to be putting this one in amazing. Not everyone likes this one, but this is very similar to the Adelaide Guernsey they wore in 2008, 2009, and it's one of my favourite Guernseys of all time. I know Henshi had it very last in his rankings, and I like how it's, you know, got a crow, red back. Like the look of it. Brisbane's away one. I don't like this colouring as much. I like the home one better. I'm going to put it good though. I like this one. I'm going to put this in amazing. The Brisbane Fitzroy red and blue. I love the look of the red. This has been one of my favourite jumpers for quite some time. Carlton, it's maybe slightly less bland than... I don't really like this one though. I'm going to put in meh, the Carlton one. Collingwood fans, if this is their away and home, both of them going in boring and bland because ultimately it's just black and white stripes. Essendon's away Guernsey. For now, will put this in ugly. I don't actually like this whatsoever. Like, I do like the colour red, but they're used to the two black stripes. I know why they do it. They can't actually use a proper black stripe, but ultimately I just don't like the look of it at all. Next up, we got Geelong. Yeah, probably boring and bland. GWS. I actually don't like this one very much. I'm actually going to put it in ugly. I do not like GWS's home Guernsey at all, so we might as well put it in an ugly tier. Gold Coast, their Sun one is pretty nice. This is their away one. I think it's good. I'll put it in good. I like the colour blue, so, you know, blue Guernseys are going to go up quite a lot. I don't mind this one. GWS, I had this one ranked up quite highly in some of my videos. I'll probably put it in the top of great. I don't like it as much. It's dumbed down a little bit, but then Never Surrender Guernsey is still one of my favourites. It's a good one there. Hawthorn's Legends Guernsey. I don't like brown very much, but I still think it's decent. I'm going to put it above Port Adelaide's. We'll start with Melbourne's away one with their royal blue Guernsey. I think it's great, end of great. I love the look of this one because of the royal blue, and I think it's better than the ones in good. And then the red one with the red back, I don't like as much, but I still think I'm going to put it at the end of good. Now, look, I know I've got some of the home Guernseys a little bit lower than the other ones. I'm not saying that Melbourne need to switch to the, you know, royal blue one for their home, for example, but I just personally like the look of the one with the red back just a little bit more than the navy blue one. I don't know, navy blue Guernseys are fine, but I just don't like the look of it as much. Alright, we'll go to Fremantle's away one now. Jeez, it's kind of going to be similar to where their home one's going to be. Probably in the end of meh. North Melbourne's away, at least there's a little bit more towards this one. I actually like the look of this one quite a bit. One of my favourite Guernseys, I'm going to put in the amazing above Adelaide's. Put Adelaide's away Guernsey, probably... Actually, no, I like it a little bit more than the black one because they've got a little bit of detail on the back of the Guernsey. So I'm actually going to put it top of decent. I like the look of Port Adelaide's away more than some of the other years. Richmond's away one. I actually like the look of this one on TV. I'm going to put this in good. Almost in great. I do like the look of that one. St Kilda's away one. It's the same as their home, so it's just going to be put in meh. Sydney's away. I like this one for some reason. I'm actually going to put it at the end of great. Yes, it's simple. White and a red V. Realistically, it's just the same as Port Adelaide's away one, isn't it? Just with a red V. Maybe I'll put it down in good, just because it's just white with a red V. But I really like the look of this one. It, you know, screams Bloods culture, and it looks cool. West Coast's away. I'm going to put just behind their home one, but I'm probably going to put it maybe end of amazing. I really do like West Coast Guernseys. The Bulldogs away Guernsey. I don't like the thickened stripes so much, so we're going to put it somewhere in the decent category. As you can see, we've got some of these Indigenous Guernseys to get through, and let's be honest, they're going to be ranked quite highly. We have actually done my own rankings for some of these Indigenous Guernseys, so let's go through them. Adelaide's, I'm going to put it top of great. I really like the crow and the patterns in this one. I don't like Brisbane's one so much, to be honest. I almost put in ugly. I'll say end of decent for both map. This one's a little bit better because it's in the red. Carlton's is decent. Collingwood, like, I'm not trying to be disrespectful, but in terms of all the Guernseys, I didn't have this one quite high. I do think it's a little bit ugly, so we're going to put it in the ugly tier. Essendon, I really do like their Indigenous Guernsey from this year. It stands out on TV. We're going to put it in amazing. Maybe Godly. We'll wait till the end to see who are having Godly. Freo, I like the home one more than the away one. Their away one's in Met, to be honest. I don't like it. Geelong's Indigenous, they have two. I like their home one a lot. I'll put that one in good. I do not like their away one. For some reason, it just doesn't work on an AFL Guernsey. It just looks like a bit of a mess. And I think it is an ugly Guernsey, to be honest. So, unfortunate there for Geelong, but I'm going to put it in there. We've got another home one here. Essendon's home, probably next to Richmond's. Doesn't give me too much, honestly, so I'll put it there. Gold Coast Indigenous. I like their away one more than their Indigenous. This is alright. I'm going to put it top of decent. GWS's, I don't mind this one. I'll put it maybe next to the Gold Coast one. This is decent. You got the Lizard there as well. Hawthorn have two Indigenous Guernseys. I used to really hate this one, but I actually like it a lot more now. So I'm actually going to put it in good. I used to not like this one at all, the brown one. And I'm going to put this one in great. I think Hawthorn this year have done a great job with their Indigenous Guernseys. Melbourne, we will put in, I reckon it's above the Western Bulldogs home Guernsey. North Melbourne, so far the best of the lot, I reckon. I love the colour scheme. I love the kangaroos, you know, the Indigenous designs and the Indigenous paintings. I do like this one quite a lot. Port Adelaide's, I think, to be honest with you, it's a bit boring and bland. Yes, I know it's a bit different as it is Indigenous Guernsey, but I don't like Port Adelaide's ones this year, so I'm going to be putting them both in the boring kit. I think they could have done a whole lot more. Richmond always do a solid job with their Indigenous designs. I'm going to have it just above the Gold Coast one. Pretty solid. Fremantle, meh. It's a meh Guernsey. I like their anchor a lot more. St Kilda, I'm going to have this one in the end of great. I like how they adopt the Indigenous yellow stripe. The thing is, right, no other sides have the capability of doing so, but I don't quite like the away one as much. I'll put it in the decent because I think it's better than the away one because there are some, you know, design, so it's quite cool. Sydney's. I do like Sydney's. I'm actually going to put it also at great. I think it looks spectacular. It did look really good when I went to the game Sydney v Carlton on TV, so we are going to put it there. West Coast, I really like this one. So unique. It's either a hit or a miss, but I'm putting it maybe behind Essendon's. Very different, but I love the colours. The Bulldogs, not quite bland, but I just think they could have done a little bit more with this one, so I might have it like with the Brisbane one, just in decent. We start with the first retro design. Now, I know I have the original Carlton design in boring and bland, but because this is a retro, you got the old AFL logo, the collars, the cuffs. A lot of the retro designs are going to go up. I really do like this Carlton one, but I can't have it too much high. I'm going to put it top of good. I know it's quite plain. Just looking at the players wearing it in this day and age, it's that much better. Freo, their anchor design, yeah, it would have probably been around here when we're, you know, comparing home Guernseys. This is what their home Guernsey used to be. It's got the old AFL logo, and that just levels it up a tier. So we're going to chuck it, I reckon, above West Coast design. I really do like that one a lot. Alright, so I just realised this was Geelong's away one. I actually like Geelong's away one a little bit more, just because it's different. You don't get to see it too often. So I might put it in meh, and Geelong's away one just in boring and bland. Nothing too special for mine. Geelong's retro, I still think all the retro designs this year are good. It's a little bit stale, but I'll drop it down to decent, the Geelong retro one. Hawthorn's retro, I was always a fan of this one, this design of the Hawk, the white Guernsey. We are going to put this one straight into the amazing tier, maybe into Godly, but we're going to save Godly for last. Port Adelaide, yeah, it's probably into great, I reckon. I don't quite like it as much as the anchor, but I think this is what Port Adelaide really should be still wearing. And they could if they wanted to. West Coast, so this is when they adopted this in Gatherand. And I'm going to put it straight into amazing. I think it's not quite as good as the Fremantle one, but I basically have it on par with the West Coast home. Like, you've got the old Hungry Jacks logo, the old AFL logo, and you got the dark blue ochre Guernsey they used in the 90s. It's very, very nice. The Western Bulldogs, yeah, probably on par with Carlton's as well. Like, with the, I like Western Bulldogs home one. This is a heritage one. They've got the collars, so it's a little bit better, I think. Very different. Adelaide's Anzac design, I actually think this is quite nice. I'm going to have it also in the good tier, just right here. I like the colours. I like how they've got the soldier in the middle. Now, this is where we start getting into some of the other designs that I've never really ranked before ever. Some of the Anzac designs. This is Collingwood's Anzac Day design in 2024. It is about as plain as it gets for Anzac designs. Because it is an Anzac design, I'm going to put it a little bit higher. No disrespect, but I just think it's not quite great. Maybe above North Melbourne's design. I didn't really like their Anzac design as much. Essendon's were better because they have all the poppies on the sash, but we've seen it a few times. I think it's solid. I don't think just a solid design for Essendon. Geelong's Anzac design was also a little bit okay. It was a bit too plain for my liking. You had a couple soldiers. I'll put it at the end of decent. GWS, the camo design. Some didn't like it. Some, I also probably think it's decent. It's all right. It's nothing too favourable for my opinion. Hawthorn as well. They had an Anzac design, but I thought that was too plain as well. If you own the Guernsey, you could see that they have the poppy on the top right, the Anzac logo. And the bottom as well is quite cool as well. I'm going to put it also in decent. I don't think it's quite a meh. Gold Coast Anzac design. This is actually kind of nice. I like the poppies and the lighting. I think this is going to be almost into great. I'm going to put it at the very top of good. I actually like this Gold Coast design quite a lot. I think this is just the Gold Coast home design that we for some reason had falling down the list a little bit. I think Gold Coast's home design is decent. Nothing too special for me, to be honest. Melbourne's Anzac design, subtle, but also quite nice. I actually think it's in the good tier. Port Adelaide's Anzac design, they wore this against the Saints. It's literally just the Anzac logo with no extra details or anything, any extra features towards this design. It's just the Anzac logo, so it can't be too much higher than their home Guernsey, maybe right above. It like literally can't be any higher. Richmond's Anzac design, I'm not actually exactly sure what the design's meant to be, but it looks nice, and I think it's definitely better than quite a number of the Anzac designs. I think it's about on par with Essendon's, maybe just a little bit below that. And then for West Coast, they also had their own Anzac design, which was very subtle. Like, once again, I like West Coast home Guernsey. I have that in great. So theoretically, I have to have this one in amazing, even though it's basically the same as the home design. Like, very subtle, but I really do like West Coast home. I've always have. Now, this is Adelaide's design that they've used in Gatherand. They have for the last couple of seasons. It's very, very similar to this G one, I think. I like the Never Surrender G just a little bit more, but I still think this is really cool, and I think many more teams need their own Gatherand design. Maybe have retro around his Gatherand or something like that. I'm not too sure. Fremantle Stealth design. It is very sick. Maybe a little bit too simple. Like, it's hard to actually see the design from far away. I am going to put it in good, though. I like it. I don't love it, but I do like it. St Kilda's candy stripe design, I'm going to put in great. Like, the long sleeve looks just really nice, and yes, maybe it wasn't quite as good back in the day in 2006, but when they brought it back, I just really like the design, especially the long sleeve. So we are going to put it in the great, but we can reshuffle it a little bit later. Brisbane's Anzac design, I don't really like Brisbane when they have their white Guernseys. It's hard to see the line. It's cool, but it's probably just indecent for me. GWS's home design, just probably decent as well, I'd say. Like the Gold Coast. Carlton's home design. Oh, this is their Respect design. It's got the orange back. It looks a lot like GWS. I remember they were running around in this Guernsey against the Cats, it was. It looked a lot like GWS. It's a nice idea and all that, but it's really just orange on Carlton's design. So we'll put in just the meh. It's all right. I like the idea, but it's just meh. Once again, Collingwood's Scott Pendlebury 400. Not many teams had this version of their designs included, but this is like an extra design. All I can really tell from this design is that it's just the SP400 logo added to the Collingwood home design. So for that, it's probably just meh. This is Essendon's design. I think they were against GWS with a yellow sash. For cancer, I think kids with cancer, I'm not 100% sure what the design was used for. Since I have this in decent, we'll chuck it also in decent. It's basically the same as Essendon's normal design, just with a yellow sash. Fremantle Starlight, I love the idea of the Starlight. I don't really like this one as much. I'm going to put in decent. I've liked other Starlight kits a little bit more. Geelong's Country Round design, I actually think for creativity, this is almost in amazing. They had the logos of every single local footy team that the Geelong Cats played for, and then they have all of the logos, all the team's emblems at the bottom. So you can see it in a little bit of detail, not so much with the picture on the tier maker, but I actually think the idea, it's quite subtle, but for the idea alone, I think we're going to put in great. I think to have a unique design for every single, Guernsey that was worn by a player, I think is a really nice touch. We don't have too many more. We just have a few special designs now. We have Hawthorn's foundation design. I think it's actually quite nice. Like a lot of these Guernsey you see quite a lot in recent years. We've just got names written of people on the Guernsey. Aren't that interesting, but I think this one's quite nice. You got like the Kennedy Center on the bottom, and you got all the names of the people, the members that donated towards the Guernsey. So I think it's better than this one, to be honest. I actually will put it at good. I quite like it. End of good though. Now this is North Melbourne's Good Friday appeal Guernsey. I really like the idea of the Good Friday appeal. Can't remember if a kid designed it this year or not. Despite all that though, I don't mind it. Obviously the design's not anything to be taken too seriously, clearly, but I actually think it's quite nice. Like it's better than last year's one. Obviously some people hate it, but it was I think a kid that designed it, and it's for kids. I think it's in the good. I actually kind of like this one. Port Adelaide's prison bar design. Now, it's similar to Collingwood's design, but I actually think it's better. I think it looks cooler. It's a little bit more different as well. Nothing too special, but we'll put it in decent. It's the prison bar. Richmond's design that they wore for the Alana and Madeline Foundation game. We just got the purple, collar and cuffs. Very similar to Essendon's design as well, so we'll put it just ahead of the Richmond home and decent. Probably no one remembers this one, but it does count because it was technically different. It's basically just Brisbane's design that they wear in away games in Melbourne, the red one, the Fitzroy red, but they for some reason had a sponsor where they picked a random person to sponsor the Guernsey, and it was Scott. That's literally all this Guernsey is that. Oh geez, we've got a lot of tiers here. We'll put this one, I guess, in amazing, even though it's on par with the last one, but I really do like this design from Brisbane, so I guess it's on par. St Kilda Stickman. I actually used to hate this one, but there's a reason why I bought it. I think this has ended up amazing. I really like the Stickman design. I know not everyone does, but I've come to love it, and we're putting the St Kilda Stickman in amazing. Okay, last two we have two Sydney designs. This is Sydney's 150-year design. It's good. I mean, again, it's basically the same as Sydney's home Guernsey, so because of that, I'll put it in great. And then we got the Sydney Pride design. I don't like it as much, to be honest with you. I just don't really like the rainbow. But it's still, probably good. I'd probably still put in good, but I think I like the home one a little bit better. So here we go. That's 100 Guernseys ranked from godly to ugly. We need to find 5 that I think are the best that have been worn in 2024. I'm going to put this North Melbourne one right in there. I'm going to put West Coast Retro in there. I'm going to put in Hawthorn's Retro in there. I'm going to be putting in Essendon's Indigenous. And I guess we're going to have to put the Brisbane Lions. We won't put the Scott one. We'll put Brisbane Lions normal away design. I really do like this one. So yeah, there you go. That's my 5. And Freo. I think Freo as well. That Retro is really cool. So that's 6 that we have in Godly for the Godly tier. Alrighty, so here we go. As you can see, I've reshuffled the tiers a little bit. You can take a quick look. I know people are going to be angry with this video, like they always are, but I just wanted to give this a crack with the 100 designs we've seen so far this year, based purely on what I think they look like, but I want to see what you guys have to say. So give me some of your little, they're not predictions. Put down below the Guernsey you'd put in God tier for this year. I might try and see if I can release one of these tier makers out a week as an extra bit of content. So let me know down below. And yeah, until then, we'll see you soon for some more content very shortly.